Alright, it's been a minute. Florida Retail back here with another video. And what we got going on today is we got this MTD that we've had for a while. I've really just stripped parts off of it. But we've also got a deck that'll work on it. And I picked this thing up right here for 20 bucks. It's got a heavy duty rear end, no deck. The body's rotted out. Seats, it's a snapper seat, but it's garbage. Motor does look bad, but it does run, so it's probably going to need tear down on the carburetor, full carb clean. You noticed that, but that's changeable. But so we're going to pull this motor off and put it on there, and then put that deck on there. Rear end's good in that. Can't remember all the issues I had with it. But so we're just going to use this one as a donor now, that deck. Get that one going, and then whatever, get it on there. I'll take that top cover, clean it up, just because it's not red and all faded. Make it look better. It's still the same motor and everything. Let's get to it. Alright, so for starters, what we're going to do is go ahead and pop this motor off. What you're going to need for that, you're going to need an 11 mil. Pull your starter wire off. Right here you got a connector. And then there's going to be, I've already got it all ready to come out, but there's going to be a star bit that sits right here and holds this in. You're going to pop that out and then pop your cable off of there. And then you got 4 mounting bolts at the bottom. And then you got your which those are 14. And then you got your, for your pulley, there's a 16 mil that you're probably going to need an impact to get off. But I've already done all that, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this motor off. Alright, so that took a little bit more persuasion than I thought. There was 2 little dowels. I dropped them both, I don't really care. But there was 2 little Allen keys I pushed into the key in the bottom of the flywheel. Or the, yeah, that thing. But, alright, it's ready to come out. I'm going to sit it here for now, clean off the desk, put it up here, pull that carb off, clean it up. I'm going to swap that out. I already broke it coming off, but let's get to it. One more thing I wanted to say about this. Most of them have an exhaust. It's really just 2 bolts that are going to be right here on the side of the motor. Mine didn't come with an exhaust, so I have to pull one off of my parts. It literally just bolts up, just like such, and it mounts down in the mower. I'll show you whenever I go to do that. But other than that, went ahead, got the other side cover on, cleaned that top cover, cleaned that top cover up. I'm gonna clean up the motor and stuff, so I have these bolts back in. Hopefully this flywheel don't really screw up that. It will, but it should be fine. But I didn't bolt that down, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that carb, clean the carb tomorrow, and then put it all back together and start assembling that. Alright, now we're gonna pop this carburetor off, get it cleaned up. If we can clean it up, should be able to. Get it cleaned up over here on the bench. I'll record doing that, and then go ahead and slap it on back on here whenever it's cleaned up. So got the carburetor off now. The fuel shutoff has been bypassed, I guess, by the previous owner. So we're gonna go ahead and get that taken apart, and then get the bowl popped off, and then go from there. See how dirty it actually is. So it's gonna be 11. Definitely some carb or some gunk fuel in here. That's a pretty good way to bypass it. Gotta find my flathead. Alright, sorry about that. I had to find my flathead, but gonna get this off. Hopefully it don't strip out, and it looks like it wants to. Well, that's gonna just be a Phillips head, so now I gotta go find a Phillips head. Okay, that one's coming loose. break this one loose with some pliers. Oh, I'm getting gas all on my hand. It's gonna stink later. Yeah, that one's already pretty loose. That's not good. I'm not sure if this was set up how most of the new carburetors with that plastic white cover. I hate how they're set up. Come on out. There we go. Chain loose. Yep, it is. So the inside of the bowl, I don't know how well you can see in there. There's a little garbage in there. Don't look too bad. Not the worst. Take that float out. Just throw that in there. Looks like the needle wasn't seating. It's not good. And with this, haven't messed with one of these in a while. Yep, you just kind of pull it off. That gasket's shot. I have to replace that. That gasket shot too. Pop this gasket off. We're gonna try not to replace as much as we can, but there's no telling what all we're gonna have to replace. Honestly, this carburetor don't look too bad. I really just took it off just to see what it would need, but don't look the worst. Yeah, it honestly looks really good to me. So I'm not gonna bother with it. This gasket here is pretty long gone, but I'm going to attempt to reuse it. Terrible idea, worst idea I've ever had, but I'm trying to make this just a little budget build. Let's see if I have any more gaskets actually, just because I know I have to keep them. Well, I do not have any more gaskets, so we are going to have to order some. Alrighty, so I'm not waiting a week for a set of gaskets to get here. So we're gonna pop apart another carburetor. The bowl looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a little gummed up. But we're gonna pop this one apart, see if the internals in this one would be usable. Gasket looks good. That O-ring is gone right there. I'm gonna have to swap that one out. But everything on the inside of this one does look much better. There's all these little holes and pilots and stuff. You always want to make sure it's clean. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. But real quick, I'm gonna pop that out. That O-ring out. Oh yeah, that thing's pretty frail. I have to go grab a pig. Oh no. Got it. So I got that one out. Drop a new one in there. Well, new to it at least. And then yeah, this ain't all that bad. So yeah, we're just going to use this carburetor. All my jets look good on it. Yeah, we're just going to throw this one together and have hopes. Actually, I'm going to put this on here. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's much easier whenever you put it on here so it don't fail seating. This one, the same thing you usually want to do, but honestly, I ordered a whole new carb for this. I'm not really in any kind of massive want to get this one done. Actually, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna make a 2-for-1. That's junk. But this one is much cleaner than that one. It's obviously got a little dirt on it, a little dirt in the valleys, but that's fine. All that is just fine. Make sure that jet, yeah, that jet's perfectly fine in there. There we go, she locked in place. Seated in place. Go ahead and make sure your needle, whenever you put it in there, don't just drop it up. Yeah, that's the right way. Don't just drop it in there. You lock it in like that, and then yeah, seat it on down in there. Then you take your rod, stuff it through. There we go. And then you want to make sure that needle works. Oh, and actually it looks like it's functioning strange. Let's see about this needle. Let's see. Put that one on in there. Much better. All right, so it's working much better. You want to look down and, well, you can't really see it the best, but you see your needle down there. You want to make sure that's moving up and down smoothly. And then I don't know which one I'm going to use. Use the one that came off this carburetor itself. Drop it back on there. Throw our hardware back in there. A lot of the times you're not going to get away with doing this, and I have very low hopes that this will work. I'm not really too prone to it working, but if it does work, that'd be amazing. But it's not gonna work the longest, so I'm still, this is just for a right now dilemma. But so for this one I use this flange here, or your flap, this metal flap, and all you gotta do to remove these, take you a pair of pliers, pull your disc out of there, and don't let your spring unwind. And then you want to just, don't let your spring unwind, as I said. And you want to just set it down in place. There we go. And I let my spring unwind. It's never the funnest. It's locked in place down there. Yeah, well, that's strange, but there we go. There we go. I had to make sure it's fully seated. So I got that fully seated, and now you do take your disc. I don't know which way it went. That's a me problem. Oh no, it's gonna go the other way. Maybe like that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Should be just like that, and it'll snap back in place where it's supposed to set. And then, there we go. That's all you gotta do to swap that over. Now that was kind of like a very terrible way to show you how to rebuild a carb, but usually you just want to take it apart, clean it up with some carb clean, and then usually replace all your gaskets and stuff once you're already in there. But you know, sometimes you get away without doing it, and that's what we're going to try and do. So this is your float thing, the bobber. This one don't seem like it's binding up or anything. It seems as if it'll work. Also got another one here. And that was nice and loose too. I might just end up using this one because this one's got some fuel down in the float. So I'm gonna pop this one on. And a lot of them, this bolt right here, or nut, is gonna be a 13 millimeter. That's what they usually are. But I personally don't care for all that. Take a pair of pliers. You're gonna scratch up around here and stuff, but none of that matters to me as long as it works in there. So yeah, everything's back together. We're gonna slap it back on there and go to the next step. Before I put that carburetor back on, you'll see here, this wire is broke on this motor. So I'm gonna have to cut and splice those back together because to your fuel shut off. And two different setups, but I'm gonna see if these will fit in there. It's kind of hard to do it two hands or one hand. Don't have to have the whole card because I don't need it. Yeah, it goes in there, works fine. But it also works both ways because they are not the same connections. So we're gonna have to figure out which one's reverse and which one's the proper way. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to do that whenever the carburetor's on the engine. Oh, I didn't even show you that. Yeah, she pops right in there, and it should work fine. But I gotta go ahead and splice and wire these back together. These broken wires. My wires crimped up together. Sorry for the background noise. It's nice and crimped, nice and tightly on there. Next up, we're gonna have to take care of this hose. It's a breather port. I gotta see if I have another one laying around. If not, I'm gonna have to order one. Alright, so luckily I've got another one. This is the old one. It's all cracked up, broke up right there. This one, not cracked, not broke. It's definitely dirty, but I'm gonna go ahead and slap that on there. Alright, we got the carb all hooked back up. Everything seems to be working right. Choke's working, throttle's working, everything's operating properly. Hopefully that'll fix itself. Yeah, that'll fix itself. Okay. Might need to lube that up a little bit. This here. But gonna get that top cover back on and go ahead and pull the mower is going on into the shop. I need to tape that up because that don't look the greatest. Alright, I got everything back together now. I don't have the proper top cover for it, So just gonna have to deal with that. I'm not ordering it because I've been through the whole build without having to order anything so far. Didn't have, or the lock things, there's bolts that lock right here. They broke off, so I just put some bolts into it, and that take the airbox lid off. All the oil drained out while I was sitting here, so I gotta go grab a oil filter tomorrow and some oil. But for the rest of the night, I'm gonna be putting it onto the MTD. Well, I'm gonna strip that gas tank off, clean it up. I think I've got another gas tank around somewhere. It's already clean, but I'm gonna throw it on there. I got a bunch of these zip ties that they come with factory, ready to go on there. And then, yeah, this should be going good. I just realized I'm gonna go ahead and do this before the motor gets put on. All the wires back here are all butchered up, so I'm gonna take like majority of the back half of this harness. Like, that's your power wire, it's junk, it's cut, it's junk, ground, junk. So I'm gonna take majority of this harness and take all the harness off of here. My parts mower, slap it on there. Finally. All right, so a few days later, I got everything mounted. Got all the wiring back here figured out. So now my bench rebuild on the carburetor using 2 to make 1 worked amazing. I just got the pulley put on down there. It was kind of a pain figuring out the belt. I had to go to the hardware store like 4 different times. Just kept buying different belts until I got the right one, because I used a different pulley on this one. So now I just got a bunch of spare belts I'm just going to go ahead and keep. Yeah, runs, goes forward, backwards. I'm going to go ahead and just rip this seat off of here, and then just throw that deck on here, pressure wash it, swap all the tires out, clean the hood up, or well, pressure wash it with it, slap the hood on there, and then she'll be good to go ahead and go up the road.